Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mortal Jellyfish video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at whether or not you should or should not grind for the sheep herder. That said, I'm very well aware that this is only a rank 20 kit, so it's not that hard to obtain. You could get this with rather casual play, but you know, this is still a good idea for a kit review, just to let you know what you could look forward to or what not to look forward to. That said, make sure to like and subscribe for more Bedwars content, and on that note, I will see you all in the video. I lied. One quick thing before the video starts. I do just want to say I'm getting very close to Croco Wolf, so if you want to see a Croco Wolf video of a should you buy the battle pass for Croco Wolf, yeah, make sure to like and subscribe for that as well, because I'm almost there. I'm level 26, gotta get to level 30. Perhaps we just buy the ranks, perhaps we don't, you know, it's like 1200 Robux for that, and I really don't want to waste my Robux. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe for a Croco Wolf video in the very near future. Very near. Very near future. Anyways, I'll let you get to your video. So, before we get into the pros and cons I've put together this video, along with some of that juicy sheep herder gameplay, I just want to take a quick minute here to explain to you how the kit completely functions and some things to think about when watching this video. So, the first thing is that you should know is that each sheep gives you roughly 6.6% more damage. By the way, if you're wondering where I got these numbers, you're more than welcome to know that it is the Bedwars Wiki. The Bedwars Wiki has lots of useful information, so make sure to go check them out. I'll leave a link to the wiki in the description below. That said, there's also a max amount of sheep. The most sheep you can get is 5. Keep in mind that includes the ones on the map. So if I have 5 behind me, as I do right now, you will not see any more spawn on the map. So say you're at 4 sheep and you're looking for that last sheep, it is going to be hard to find because it's the last sheep there. Another thing to note is that when you have all the sheep combined, that is going to give you a total of a 33% damage buff. That's it. That's basically how the kit functions. You find sheep around the map. They can spawn anywhere. Enemy bases, your base, they could be anywhere. And each one's going to give you 6.6% more damage. So that's how the kit functions. Nothing too crazy, nothing too in-depth here. A rather simple kit, if I do say so myself. On that note, let's hop into some gameplay and talk about these pros and cons to this kit. Okay, so as the gameplay gets rolling here in the background, the first pro I got on my list is gets a damage buff for free. All you gotta do is walk up to the sheep, step on them, or get close to them, and they will come to you when you ring your little bell, and they will come and help you and give you that damage buff. So you're gonna get that damage buff for free. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to kill anybody like Ari, you just simply stroll around and get the damage buff for free. That said, I do not have any other pros for this kit. I mean, we could be like, oh, wins more sword fights because of a damage buff. Oh, does a little bit better in bow fights or something because of a damage buff. You know, we could do that and go down a whole list of a bunch of tiny little pros, but I think overall, the only pro this kit has is that you're going to get a damage buff for free. It doesn't do much else. It's a rather simple kit. That said, this kit has a lot of cons to holding on to that damage buff. So let's talk about the cons I've written up here about this kit per se. So the first con we got on the list is the kit has to roam for the sheep. This kit cannot sit at the base and just hope that the sheep come to them. They're going to need to roam everywhere. This is going to include the middle of the map, diamond generators, enemy bases and stuff. So I've noticed when playing this in like a 30v30 scenario, it is very hard to find all your sheep. I think the best I've done is find 4 sheep on a 30v30, and that tends to be because the sheeps are literally sometimes just sitting in the enemy's base at like their generator or something in a 30v30 scenario, which means you're not going to get in there very easily and get that sheep. Also, if it's all the way at an enemy diamond generator, that could also be a pain. Mid can be a little bit of a pain, but not too hard. Typically, the easiest ones to get is your base, mid, and your diamond generators. Anything on the enemy side is going to prove to be a little bit of an issue. Not too big of an issue, but it's definitely going to cause one. The next con we got on the list is that the sheep can be hard to find, which I already kind of went over. So yeah, sheep are hard to find, and they can be in enemy bases. We already did that. So we kind of mixed 1 and 2 together. It's kind of funny how those run together. Anyways, the third con we got is you can't die. You know what dying does with this kit? You will lose all of those lovely sheep you worked so hard for. So consider yourself like a barbarian, but much worse. You're not just going to lose some of your rage, you're going to lose all the sheep. So, you know, you can't die at all in this kit, because if you have any sort of sheep and you die with this, they're gone, and you're going to have to start from square one of finding sheep again. Even though they are free and you didn't do anything for them. Barbarian stuff is technically free as long as you're hitting people for damage, and area stuff is free because all you have to do is kill people. I mean, you do lose 10 health, but to lose your damage with this kit, that is just horrible. I think that's probably the biggest con of the whole kit, is that when you die, you're losing your sheep, which means that's going to set you back very, very, very far. Losing your sheep is honestly unacceptable. I'd love to see this probably changed by the developers, but who knows? It's a free kit, and they don't tend to show a lot of love to the free kits most of the time. Not since like Season 1, it felt like almost. Well, Season 3 had 2 decent free kits, a Yeti and whatever the other one was, I forget. Anyways, getting off topic here, getting back on track. Our fourth con is that you have limited amounts of sheep. I mentioned this at the start of the video, if you remember. And that's that you can only have 5 sheep. There can only ever be 5 sheep in existence at once, so they'll either be on the map waiting for you to find them, or they will be following behind you and giving you a damage buff. There's only ever going to be these 5 sheep, and unless you die, you're not going to find any more, so the most you can ever get to is a 33% max damage buff. Now, Aeries been around for a whole season, destroying everybody with her damage buff, and I think it's well aware that a 33% damage buff max cap out is not fair to this kit either, in the terms of what Aerie does. That said, some people will argue that Aerie is a level 50 Battle Pass paid kit, and that is why it's fair, but honestly, I'd like to see some better balancing with this kit. It really feels like a knockoff Aerie, just way worse. That said, that is all of our cons and all of our pros, so we'll wrap this up. Should you or should you not grind for Sheep Herder? Well, I think honestly every kit's worth grinding for if you like playing the game consistently. It's fun to collect all the kits, fun to have that option to do something different or mess around with different kits, and just have it set aside in case the developers like to nerf or buff something. Fisherman was always a great kit, and that kit just recently got buffed, so it just shows you that, like, old kits are still getting buffs and nerfs and stuff, so it's kind of worth holding on to kits and making sure you get them. That said, level 20 is not very hard to get. I think this is manageable by just about anybody playing the game, even if you're only playing a few hours a week. I think you could easily obtain this kit over the time of the Battle Pass. It is a pretty terrible kit. There's no lying to you, though. It is a pretty terrible kit. The max cap out on damage, it loses all of its damage buff when you die, and you have to go find the sheep as well. So it's like, it's really scuffed kit. Hopefully we'll see some buffs to this in the near future, because the kit does feel terrible right now. But I definitely say still try and get it if you can. I mean, most people are already getting up in the level 20s because the first levels are super easy in the Battle Pass. Anyways, on that note, that's going to wrap up this video for us today. The only thing left to do is to thank those YouTube members. So, thank you Mom Peace, thank you Redwood Deadwood, thank you Easter Axolotl, thank you A9 Gaming, thank you Darkest Troller, and thank you Finally Cringe. Thank you all so much for being members of the channel. It does help out a ton. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.